Digital marketing, it is huge. It's the reason that all these platforms that people love, like YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, are free. They're not really free because you're having to see advertisements, digital marketing from all these other companies. So these platforms are merely a way for them to provide a service that is good enough that would allow them to place advertisements in there and you be okay with it.
Feel like I'm at the tippy top of my game, looking down at the rafters. I had to sun these boys, can't leave them bastards. A lot of dudes, just some undercover actors. I don't fall for it, I'm privy to all your tactics. Yeah, so try again, this time take a vitamin. Yeah, invite them in, welcome to the Lion's Den.
Making digital ads stand out and seem interesting is something that took me years to figure out how to do. And on some days I do it well, and on some days I still don't. Really, in the end, you have to test. If you go with those 3 rules of marketing, test, you can usually figure out what's good and what isn't. It's often going to surprise you. Sometimes you think you have an amazing ad that everyone's going to love, and then no one's paying attention. That's why you need to test.
I think the key to any kind of ad right now is honestly just being unique, being authentic, doing something that other companies aren't doing. There's companies like Express, for example, that I love Express clothes. I get hit with emails at least twice a day. It drives me insane, and I love the brand. So they're doing something wrong. It's not just about consistency. It's not just about offering or discounts or price. It's bring some value. Have an email that's catchy, short, sweet, funny, makes me laugh. Bring some kind of value, and constantly change it up. Don't be just the brand that sends out emails saying buy. It's a horrible way to go.
Use some motion in your video clips. Sometimes it helps when you're walking towards the camera. Sometimes it helps when you're walking away from the camera. But those types of things tend to capture that attention right away. Like, what's going on in this situation?
One of the greatest things about digital marketing in general is your ability to target the person that you want your message to reach to. Targeting is the ability to specify exactly who you want to see your ad. Most basic example of this is if you were selling exercise equipment or sporting goods, you would put your ad in the sports section of the newspaper. That is a very basic version of targeting. Now, when it comes to digital media, digital marketing platforms and digital media platforms have become very sophisticated when it comes to your ability to target who sees your advertising.
One of the best tips that I can give you is, well, first of all, try a bunch of shit. Like that, throw $5 on it, give it a try, see if it works, and then if it does, go ahead and expand on it. So that's tip number 1. But tip number 2 is figure out your fucking audience.
I mean, you can create and place ads pretty easily. Can you get it to convert? There's the tough part, right? That's where the rubber meets the road. Are you spending more money on reaching a specific audience and not getting that to come over to your website or not getting that to convert to your product? That's where the magic actually happens.
A piece of advice for someone getting into digital advertising, let's say it's for Facebook. Just start small. You don't have to throw $1,000 budget out there to get some data back that will help you take the next steps armed with a little bit more information.
When it comes to targeting digital ads, in the beginning, a lot of people are really bad at it, myself included. Why? You don't have a lot of experience. So one of the things that you'll often do when you don't have experiences is you pick really broad audiences. Now I'm going to use Startup Hustle as an example. If you weren't experienced at creating digital marketing ads, you might just aim our ads for this Startup Hustle TV show or the Startup Hustle podcast to people that were interested in entrepreneurship. It sounds like it makes sense until you realize that there are about 60 million people on all of Facebook that Facebook says are interested in entrepreneurship. So what you have to do is you have to create levels of targeting. You want to start with people that are interested in entrepreneurship, and then you create another level of filtering or narrowing of audience, and perhaps people that were interested in entrepreneurship, but also are interested in podcasts. Now, that's still going to leave you with millions and millions of people to show ads to. So if you want to be even more refined, you might find people that are interested in entrepreneurship, people that like podcasts, and then also people that own small businesses. In that 3-layer example, you will probably end up with about 100,000 people to show ads to, which is a much more refined and specific audience than 8 million.
Some of my tips for really targeting in and dialing in any kind of digital ad is segmentation. The more segmented you get, whether it's Google PPC, whether it's Facebook, demographic targeting, things like that, get as segmented as possible. And the more segmented you get, the more dialed in you get, the more profitable you'll get, the more bang for your dollar.
So we've been talking about targeting, but we should probably also talk about retargeting. There's a whole lot of technology out there that will help you show ads to people that have visited your website, visited your Facebook page, visited your other social profiles, people that have interacted with your ads in the past, and just overall, like, people that have engaged with anything that you're doing online. The purpose of retargeting is to continue to get your brand message out there to people that have already showed interest in what you do. You are being retargeted every time you go to a website and then you get on Facebook and notice, wow, they're now showing me ads for that website that I was just at, or that ad that I just clicked on. That's retargeting. It's highly effective, it's used on a widespread basis, and it's something that can easily be set up with a little bit of planning and effort on your end. Let's talk about Google. Google may have invented cost per click advertising. If they didn't, they're pretty darn close. But as all of you know, Google's a search engine. They also own YouTube, and they have a huge partner network. So when it comes to creating Google ads, you have to be pretty specific about what exactly it is that you want to accomplish. Google does text ads, video ads, display ads, you name it. There are so many types of Google ads now, it can feel a little overwhelming. The oldest version of Google ads is just the simple text ad. That's what you see in the top few spots when you use google.com or anything in the Google app. Now, these ads are really easy to create, they're really easy to place, and it's also really easy to overspend on them. So you want to make sure that you're very precise and not just overly general with the keywords you choose. If you're new to creating Google ads, keep it simple at first. Don't select all of the distribution options that Google, they'll ask you if you want to show your ads in 92 different places, including their partner network. Keep it simple at first. Make a basic ad and just show it on Google search results. Why? That partner network is vast. The partner network is created of approved advertisers who insert some code on their website, and Google sends ads to them based on the content of their website. It's a lot harder to keep track of. And overall, if you're new to Google advertising, it's best to get good at one form of it before you spread your budget out in 10 different directions. Google owns YouTube. You can place YouTube ads using the Google ad platform. However, YouTube ads are way different than the standard Google search results ads. Why? They're video ads. Video ads and text ads are two completely different mediums and require two completely different approaches, when it comes to placing the ads. If you're going to place a video ad, you need a video that gets the viewer's attention and fast.
Just in case you weren't aware, YouTube is all about digital marketing. That's the whole reason, and that's how they make money. That's how YouTubers like me earn a living off the content we're making. It's all about digital marketing. So in most YouTube videos, you'll see there's a little advertisement, and sometimes two before each video, and the video is free to watch otherwise. And so what's happening is, if you have enough subscribers and viewers, you can get Google AdSense. And if you didn't know, YouTube is owned by Google. Okay, that's how that makes sense. So if you have Google AdSense, you can choose to have videos with advertisements, and they can automatically place those, or you can place them yourself. And that's how the whole thing works, and that's how it's free for everyone to watch, even though it does cost money for YouTube to like have a bajillion, videos out there online for anybody to watch at any time. It's all about digital marketing in the end.
YouTube video ads have a whole lot of different options. You have skippable ads. So those are those little 5-second ads that you see at the beginning or before you watch a video, which give you the option to skip it after 5 seconds. Now, for a lot of video ads, these can be highly effective. Google only charges you for the impressions that are made for the people that don't skip it. If you're going to use skippable ads, though, you have less than 5 seconds to get someone's attention. Otherwise, they're going to click skip and it's over. You miss the opportunity. Google also has what's called discovery ads. I'm a big fan of discovery ads. It might even be how you found Startup Hustle TV. Discovery ads are a hybrid version of the traditional Google text ads and video ads. So these are the ads that might show underneath this video that you're watching right now when you get options for other videos that are related or similar. And they also show in general YouTube search results. Now, don't discredit the power of the YouTube search engine. It is one of the most used and utilized search engines in the world. It's getting billions of entries a day.
We try to do our digital advertising for our YouTube channel in a very natural way, like on the spot. And I hate even scripted lines, because you start to sound like a salesperson if you're reading a scripted line on a screen. We like to be just natural. I like to have a natural conversation with somebody, or just describe my experience with a company in a way that would be like a conversation. And I think that's been very successful, because we keep getting calls to keep doing it. And I'm, like I said, continually learning how to get better at this.
Let's talk about the gram, Instagram. If you're going to place digital ads on Instagram, they need to be great images or great pictures, or they're not going to be effective. Why? Instagram is a photo-centric platform. It is not the place to have text ads. Why? Because you can't even place text ads on Instagram. But overall, if you want to be successful on Instagram, you have to have great imagery or great videos, and they have to be precise. They have to get that attention, because most people on Instagram, they're doing this. They're just scrolling on down. So you need a scroll stopping image, or something that really gets the attention of the person that is sitting there on the Instagram app scrolling up and down. Another option on Instagram is advertising or promoting your business through stories. Stories are 15 seconds. That's all you got. Now, you can have great images or videos there, and those are effective options. Overall, with stories, much like image-based ads themselves, test. Figure out what works, what gets the engagement you're looking for, dial those ads up, and turn the other ones off that no one's engaging with.
All right, Instagram has a couple different ways that you can create ads. One of the main things when creating ads is to make sure that you have the formatting correct. So on Instagram, if you're going to be posting ads on IGTV or on the stories, then you got to make sure that the formatting is vertical, 1080 by 1920. That'll help bring the visual effect to your camera. So if you're watching this on YouTube, then it's actually like a 1280 by 720. And if you're watching this on Facebook, it's probably 1080 by 1080 square. So understanding the different format styles is absolutely important so that you give the person who's just scrolling through their screen a good visual experience, because you want them to stop. You want them to wait and see what's the next piece of information that's coming your way. Another good thing for Instagram is to be authentic, be original. I noticed in my own insights that when I create some curated stuff, it doesn't do as well if it's just me out and about, just grabbing my phone and taking a selfie. That stuff, the interaction of me being normal, being human, tends to have a better reaction on Instagram than just regular ad placement, something I created on Canva or something that's pre-recorded. We as humans like to see other people kind of just being human and doing human things. And if you can create your story or ad through that lens, I think it's more effective on Instagram.
When I think about placing ads on Instagram or Google or Facebook, I like to pique curiosity. So that's my main goal. I want to pique people's curiosity so they'll at least go to the website. They might not download the app, they might not go to Amazon and buy Mixtape, but at least I've piqued their curiosity. That's the challenge I see. You have no time to really have a sales conversation with someone on any social media channel. A lot of times they're just gonna scroll right by you. So for me, I like to pique people's curiosity, make them laugh, and hopefully after enough repetition, they might stop and check us out.
When it comes to placing Facebook ads, you have a whole lot of targeting options. You have a whole lot of different options when it comes to selecting the interests of those you'll show ads to, narrowing the focus. You can do, you can look up a whole lot of demographics. You can look up things that people show interest in. Also like lifestyle things, like for example, they literally have options in there that let you show ads to people that are getting married in a certain amount of time, or have stated or made certain types of status updates that certain things are occurring. So you have a whole lot of options for targeting, but with that, I really recommend that you focus on Facebook news feed first. That's just good old Facebook, like scrolling on down that news feed. You'll find when placing ads, they'll offer you automatic placement, which is going to put it everywhere. You'll be in the right column. You'll be in people's messenger inbox. You'll be everywhere. I don't like that if you're new to digital advertising, because I want you to be good at one thing before you try to be good at 20. And the good old traditional Facebook feed, it can be really effective if done right.
The advice I could give you for advertising on Facebook is to put the Facebook pixel anywhere you can, because Facebook allows you to create lookalike audiences, and I've found those to be probably the best way to start building an audience that you want to advertise to. These are people that have visited your website, they've looked at your pages, or they've been to product pages somewhere. That's who you want to advertise to. People that are already showing some interest or curiosity about your product. You can go real deep in it. You can go different age groups, you can go different demographics, people that are into certain things like sports and entertainment or music or live events. So you can go as deep as you want to. And to be honest, the better you know your target market, the more critical you can be on Facebook and defining your audience, the more successful your ads are probably going to be.
Email marketing. One of the things that we've been playing around with, we've been beta testing different kinds of subject lines, trying to figure out how to turn our subject lines into clicks. Like, I'm going to click through. We're kind of experimenting with that right now, because the thing is, like, marketing is a constant experiment. Like, throw it up on the wall, see what sticks, figure out what resonates with your audience, and then do it again. And then, continually just keep pushing for that better piece.
Email marketing is something that I'm still getting to know. Here's how I run it. We have a list of about 15,000 in our database of real estate agents, guests that have been on the show, people who've inquired about different lead magnets or whatever. So it's about 15,000. And we send out emails. I try to make sure I send out an email every day, but it just doesn't happen. Whether I don't make the time or whatever the reason. So what are the things that we do for email marketing? One, we want to drive traffic to our podcast so that we increase our download numbers, so that we increase our subscription and exposures. The other thing is we want to highlight the people who have been on the show. So can we drive traffic to the guests who have been on the show, to their products, to their services via affiliate links? Because that's a way that we can earn some revenue. And third, is our email content interesting? I'm not a professional email marketer. I'm getting better. Our conversion rate is starting to increase. And it's just, to me, it's a work in progress. But from what I've learned, stories sell, facts tell.
Yes, email marketing is a form of digital advertising and digital marketing. And it's something that a lot of people are really bad at. Why are people bad at it? Because they don't know how to get other people's attention. They have weak subject lines. They have boring emails. They put the most important calls to action or content at the bottom of the email. And overall, it just gets ignored. So when it comes to email marketing, you need to have a subject line that gets someone's attention. I'll give you an example. One of the most effective email marketing campaigns we have ever run had the subject line, blatant sales pitch. Because that's what it was. And so many people opened it. I think they were curious about what was actually in there. And on some level, I think many recipients were just happy to see a subject line actually reflect what was in the email. It was a sales pitch, but it got the attention of the recipient. They opened the email. That subject line had a significantly higher open rate than something like find software developers now. That's boring. That while that is what the email would or could have been about, it doesn't really make you want to open it.
Out of the 1,000 emails I've deleted in the last 6 months that I've received from companies or people wanting to write for our blog or whatever, there's been 2 or 3 that I've actually kept, and I've given those people my time because they were creative and clever, and I read it and I was entertained, and I said, you know what? Because you took the time to write something, funny or interesting about what you're offering, I'll actually give you the time. I'll listen to you. We may not need it. We didn't need it. But I wanted to give them a win, hey, that actually worked. So keep doing that. And you'll probably find someone who'll buy from you. It wasn't us, but I applauded their effort because it was unique and it stood out.
And I'm Mufasa, big boss in charge of coming in like a bull. You see me raising the stock up, yeah. So baby, you gon' need some patience. I already won, now I'm just making a statement, Damn, baby, why your mans keep hating? You asking about the cake, you here for the celebrations. And I ain't fishing, I ain't really into baiting. I know they all wish I take away they made it, but sorry I'm taking me and my lady mating. She look me